All right, Kevin back with you again. And I recently had a client ask me about self talk and the importance of self talk, what we say to ourselves, and to share a little bit of my experience with this. So I'm going to tell you, I want to give you a little insight because I know you're going to find this really valuable. So, self talk is something that's really important. What we say to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we view ourselves makes all the difference in the world. And in the past, I've actually had, studied a lot of this stuff and studied the affirmation stuff, tried using that really early on in my business career and doing affirmations, stuff like that. I I would say to myself things like, I live the life of a millionaire and I do this and I do this. And the challenge is when creating those affirmations, they didn't resonate with me as who I was as a person. And quite honestly, I just didn't believe them. So I had virtually no results. But I had an experience back in 2008. I was actually talking with one of my mentors at the time. His name was Matt Fury, and we were having a one-on-one session. And at that point in time, it was a couple months before Brock was born. Brock was born on April 21st, 2008. And Matt and I were talking about, the changes that were going to be taking place in my life once Brock was born. And quite honestly, I was really excited about welcoming Brock into this world. But I also knew things were going to change in a big way now that I was going to become a parent to a baby. And Matt made a comment during our conversation. He said, Kev, babies bring money. And because of the place that Matt held in my life, the position he held for me, that I placed so much respect with him, that I just believed in what he said, I took that comment and I just didn't even question it. I just believed it wholeheartedly. And without even really giving it that much thought, I was just like, you know what? He's right. Babies do bring money. And throughout the rest of that year, it wasn't like a totally conscious thing that I found myself saying that, but I just believed it with every part of my being. And I will let you know that that was the very first year that my business broke $1 million in sales. And so many incredible things happened that year. And so what I learned from that was that I started noticing for things. And I now because see, we can make any experience mean anything that we want. So I look for when I'm having conversations with people, when things happen in my life, I start to place meaning on those things. And I say, okay, well, because of that, then this is true. And see what then I do it in a way that I 100% believe. And so therefore, because I place the meaning on that, because I say, okay, this is true. Matt's comment, that was true. And so therefore, I act accordingly. And I do that all the time in my life now. I look for experiences. I look for, like a conversation I just had with somebody the other day about a new project that I'm working on. I was like, wow, the comment that they made, that's proof, that's confirmation that what I'm doing is the right thing, that I really need to go in this direction. I'm going to make a big impact. This project is going to be really successful. So when you are doing your self-talk and when you are choosing what you say to yourself, see, look for experiences in life. I teach a process called the positive focus. And it's the purpose of the positive focus is to allow us to focus on the great things going on in our life. And when we do that, and when we choose to place meaning on that, because this happened, then this is true. And it's really the simplest thing in the world to do, but most people miss this, and therefore they miss the real value that they can get from the self-talk and what we say to ourselves. So I hope that helps you a little bit by sharing that experience. If so, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you've got experiences with self-talk and what you say to yourself and how that's had an impact on your life, I would also love to hear from you below on the blog as well. So that's it for this week, and we'll be back with you again next week.